Then Noah reached out to hug me. Y'all, that wasn't no hug, y'all. That was an embrace. And when I say I lost it, like, I was crying when my cousin hugged me. But when he hugged me, I lost it because I couldn't believe that after what I just did to him, he still hugged me like that. Like, he still confessed his love just through an embrace for me. And you know how you can kind of tell, like, I could tell he wanted to cry too, but he was trying to, like, hold it in like a man, hold it in like a man. And I want to say, I think he whispered in my ear, I love you. And so then I got on the train, y'all. I was crying. I was waving out the window at them, and then when the train went on, I was boo-hooing. And I remember this older white man sitting in the seats across from me. He didn't ask me anything. He didn't ask me if I was okay or anything. He just politely just handed me a couple of tissues. I was like, I mean, to this day, I just thought that was just so sweet. Hey, y'all. Welcome to Receive and Relate. This is your first time here. Welcome to Story Time. I'm so glad you clicked on this video. I'm so glad you're here. If you are a returning subscriber, or if you are just a returning individual, I welcome you back. Hey, y'all. Hey. So this is the story of my first love. My first love. Yes, y'all. This was my first love. My first, like, real love. You know what I'm saying? Like, this wasn't no, you couldn't tell me this wasn't no puppy love. This wasn't no puppy love. This was a man. Listen. Anyway, so let's talk about it. So the cousin, if you have previously watched my older videos, the cousin that my previous videos, I'm sorry, my cousin that I said was the fourth girl who molested me, I went, and this time I went to visit her at her house, this time out of state. And so while we were there, and I'm about to combine two chapters, actually. This story is in my book called Cage Girl. Link will be in the description box below. I'm combining two chapters, so this video won't be real long. When we first got there, she really wanted me to enjoy myself. I understand that, right? She wanted me to enjoy myself. She knew that, back home, the little boys was making fun of me and stuff like that. I ain't really had no boyfriends. Back in the day, the chubby girl was not in. Okay, that wasn't the thing back then. So she knew a lot of fellas, and she knew that it was a different type of atmosphere up there, because she was chubby too. And so she had boys and stuff like that, and boyfriends, and I wanted a little boyfriend. I wanted a boyfriend. I was 14 and I wanted a boyfriend. So she invited a couple of her friend and then her friend's friend over, and I met him. This guy was Hispanic. He reminded me of one of the dudes from Thuggish Ruggish Bone, right? He reminded me of him. And he was cute. And we fooled around, but he wasn't the first love. It wasn't him. The first love was who I met maybe like the second week I was there, or maybe a few days later after that. And so she called her friend, and then her friend had a brother, and she called them, and she had another phone upstairs, and so she was in her room on her phone, and I was in the guest room on the other phone, and we were talking to them all together. So it was like a three-way type of thing, but by them being in the same household, they did the same thing we did. So all four of us is on the phone, right? And so the first night, she introduced us and whatever. And this cousin also, remember how I said in another video how my sister lied and said that I was 16, right? This cousin did the same thing, said that I was 16 in this story, and I went along with it, right? Because remember I said I wanted a boyfriend, right? So he was 17, right? At least he was underage. He wasn't no grown adult. But nonetheless, she introduced us, and we just had this great conversation. Like, I remember this like it was yesterday. And I remember her asking them to sing because she said they could sing really good, and so could my cousin. I sing, my cousin sang. I was too shy. I'm still shy to sing now, but my cousin sang, and she said that they sing too. And so I was like, oh, let me hear y'all, let me hear y'all. So back then, the popular group that was out back then was Jodeci. Okay, if you don't know, Google, but you should know. Okay, know your history, your R&B 90s music. Okay. And they sang a Stevie Wonder song and a Jodeci song. And when I was sitting on the phone, like, swoon, y'all. They sound so, man, listen, they sound better than Jodeci themselves. I kid you not. They sounded so good. And I love, to this day, still, I love music, right? Love hearing people sing, love people hearing play instruments or whatever. I love everything there is to love about music, right? And so I was just, I almost fell in love with that. But I also did like his voice. He was, it was nice to, again, like, I know I'm 14, but it was nice to talk to somebody who had like a mature voice. You know what I'm saying? He sounded older, but you knew he didn't sound creepy like a grown man type older. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so we talking and they singing. We was on the phone till like 2-3 in the morning, right? The first night. It would either be the very next night or the night or the night after that, right? We did the same thing over again. We all rapped, we all talked on the phone, like, just rap, had a good time, laughed and joked and just had a good time to the wee hours of the morning again. I started to like him. Unbeknownst to me, he was liking me too, but never would I had the nerve to ask, right? So what happened was, I think one of those, it was like, again, it was either next night after that second time or the night after that. He called by himself. The guy who I named in the book, who, like I said, his real name will not be mentioned. I named him Noah in the book. Okay. So Noah called, by himself and asked for me. And my cousin made this big deal about it. She was like, girl, Noah on the phone with you or whatever. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, girl. And so I answered the phone and we did our thing. And we talked all night again to the wee hours of the morning. And it would be, I think maybe the following night, where he confessed that he was like, I know this gonna sound crazy, but I am in love with you. He was like, I know we just met, but I'm in love with you. And I was like, oh my God, me too. Now, mind you, neither one of us had seen each other in person or nothing like that. But I think my husband, Lord, my cousin, I think she described me and everything like that. And she described him. Oh, let me tell you, I forgot to tell y'all the description. If you know who Ern Hall is, if you don't know who Ern Hall is, Google him. She described him like Ern Hall, meaning the bald head, right? And the not that he looked just like him, but the bald head with the chocolate complexion or whatever, chocolate brown complexion like that, and tall like that. That's how she described him. And so I liked it. It was fine with me, the description, whatever. And she described me too or whatever. And apparently he just, he was fine with it. It wouldn't be, I finally saw him. Oh, that was another thing. He lived in like another city. But because he had grown so fond of me and everything, when it was time for me to go back to Washington, D.C. on train, he volunteered to take us to the train station. And so she told me, and I was like, really? And she was like, yeah, girl, he must really like you because he coming all the way here to just to take you to the train station or whatever. And I was like, that's what's up. So y'all, my last day there, right? This dude that lived up the street from my cousin, I met him first. Like, he was like one of the first people when I first got there. Matter of fact, I forgot to say this when it happened. The first night, it wasn't the dude I met in the basement. It was a few of her friends came over on the porch and we was all hanging out and I met, and he was one of the few friends, right? I thought he was cute. I liked him. I thought he was cute, but he never acted like he gave me the time. And he never, the whole entire month I was there, y'all, Listen to this, okay? Pay attention to this, because I didn't get this revelation until I was writing this book. When the Lord told me this, I was shocked to shingles, as I've been saying lately. I don't know where that comes from, but I was shocked to shingles when the Lord revealed this to me. All these years, I never put two and two together. The Lord revealed this to me. That's why it's really important. Sidebar, it's really important to write. If you're supposed to write, okay? So anyway, this boy he ain't paid me no attention since the first night I was there. Do you know he came to the house the day I'm supposed to leave? And when I tell you, this baby was flirting so hard with me. He flirted so hard. Everything I wanted him to do in the beginning of the month when I first met him, prior to me meeting Noah, he was doing now on the last. And I told him, I said, you do know I'm leaving today, right? He was like, oh man, like he was surprised. He was like, you leaving today? I was like, yeah. He was like, man, I'm just trying to get to know you a little bit. I was like, but you had all month. Why you trying now? Like, why now? Oh, I was so confused, right? So also remember, Noah on his way to pick me up. So I ain't want him to see him flirting with me, right? Because by this time, listen, that was the boo. Okay, we was boyfriend girlfriend. I don't care if we live in different states or not. That was the boo. So I ain't want him to see him flirt with me when he pulled up or whatever. So once I seen him coming, or who I thought was him, I assumed it was him because he was slowing down, pulling in the driveway. Cause remember, I said I never seen him before. I went inside to tell my cousin, and I went and told her, I was like, I forgot what I named him in the book, but I was like, so-and-so flirting with me real hard today. And I said, Noah pulled up or whatever. She just laughed and whatever. She was like, girl, she said something like, girl, you pulling them. Hold on to that, right? So, I went back outside. Noah pulled up. My cousin, that's what happened. My cousin asked the dude. She was like, you want to ride with us to the train station? Y'all, I'm looking at her like, what is you doing? Like, what is, and he was like, yeah, if it's all right with dudes, for your homeboy, whatever. So we went to the car, and he was so sweet. He got out the car, he saw me, and we couldn't even hug, but it was like, you know how you could tell when you meet somebody for the first time, right? And you like the satisfied look on your face, like, yes, like, like they everything I, wished out and wished to see and more. You know what I'm saying? He was fine, y'all. Aaron Hall couldn't compare to this man. This man was fine. And listen, that a tall cup of chocolate milk, okay? What they say, tall, dark, and handsome. That's exactly what he was. So, but before he could even like try to embrace me or hug me, my cousin interrupted, hurry up and interrupted and said, hey, let's just say she said, hey, Noah, because we're using Noah, right? She was like, hey, Noah, it's okay if such and such ride with us to the train station, and then put him on the spot, right? He looked at me, but I just looked down. He looked at me to see if it was okay with me. I just looked down, right? I should have did like this, right? But I really should have, but I didn't. I just looked down because I was so confused. And plus, I was like, I like the fact that the dude was flirting with me, but I wanted to spend time with my boo thing. This is my last time. So I ain't get this. I hadn't had this type of attention, y'all. You understand? I was new to all of this attention. At home, wasn't getting none of this, right? So, he was like, yeah, sure, So now, my cousin, may she rest in heaven, was very, very, very extremely stubborn. You could not go nowhere with her and she ride in the back seat. She would not get in the car. I'm serious. This is a true story. I would ask my aunt, but she passed away too. She would not get in the car unless she was in the front seat. So I rode in the back, and dude rode in the back with me, of course, and she in the front seat. And when she sat down in the front, Noah had looked at her like, what are you doing? But she was like, oh, you must don't know. I don't ride in the back seat or whatever. And I was just like, so he was just like, oh, okay, And so he started the car and we driving. Now, I could see him literally, see my rearview mirror right here? I could see him watching me in the rearview mirror. He watching the back seat. I know he's seeing it. This dude this close to me, right? He like this close to me, flirting and stuff like, and I'm trying to like, I did not get this attention, so I didn't know how to like tell the dude to stop. You know what I'm saying? So he flirting with me like all the way there. It wasn't a real long ride to the train station, but he flirting with me all the way there. When we get there, Noah he didn't even get a chance to come over and talk to me. The dude took my arm and pulled me away, right? Pulled me away to like we went inside the train station and pulled me away into like this like secluded kind of type area where it's just, like a bench or whatever, and then there was some like veg. Yeah, so it was like this secluded type area where there's like these benches or whatever. So he's, like I said, he's sitting over there and he flirting. And then he's telling me he really liked me and stuff like that. And I'm so confused because I'm like, you had all month to tell me this. You telling me this on the last day, y'all. And then he reached out to kiss me. Remember, I said I don't have no attention right now. All of this is new to me, so I'm liking the flirtation, even though I'm in the back of my mind like, but Noah here. I thought I almost said his real name. Noah here. Like, what is he thinking? And he reached out to kiss me, and I kissed him back. And I heard like the sound of footsteps or whatever, and we stopped kissing, and both of us looked over and seen him. And y'all, when I tell you, man, it's like a movie. The look on his face he looked like he lost his dog. He looked so sad, and I immediately felt so bad. First of all, I didn't know how long he was standing there, right? I want to say he was going to like go to the vending machines, but I'm sure he was looking for me too, right? Because my cousin wasn't around either. My cousin wasn't with him, so he must have left her to go look for me. And when I tell you he looked so sad, I almost wanted to cry just looking at him, right? And I was just like, oh my God. Like, I'm looking at him like saying I'm sorry with my eyes. I didn't understand what was going on. I was so confused. So finally it was time for my train to arrive, and everybody walked me to the train. So remember I said it's like a movie. This was like a cinema. Like, it was literally like a movie. I said bye to everybody, and I was just getting ready to get on the train. I wasn't even getting ready to say nothing to my cousin because I was annoyed at her for even inviting dude with us, right? I didn't know if Noah wanted to hug me back or not, so I didn't reach out to hug him. So I just kind of turned to go on the train, but my cousin pulled my arm back and gave me a hug, right? And she gave me a tight hug. And after she hugged me, the dude hugged me. And then I just gave him like this short hug. And then Noah reached out to hug me. Y'all, that wasn't no hug, y'all. That was an embrace. And when I say I lost it, like, I was crying when my cousin hugged me. But when he hugged me, I lost it because I couldn't believe that after what I just did to him, he still hugged me like that. Like, he still confessed his love just through an embrace for me. And you know how you can kind of tell, like, I could tell he wanted to cry too, but he was trying to, like, hold it in like a man, hold it in like a man. And I want to say, I think he whispered in my ear, I love you. And so then I got on the train, y'all. I was crying. I was waving out the window at them, and then when the train went on, I was boo-hooing. And I remember this older white man sitting in the seats across from me. He didn't ask me anything. He didn't ask me if I was okay or anything. He just politely just handed me a couple of tissues. I was like, to this day, I just thought that was just so sweet. I eventually got myself together, right? But now, let me tell you what the Lord revealed to me. That this gonna trip y'all out. So this is what the Lord revealed to me as I was writing this book. My cousin, because the part that I didn't go over with, because again, I'm trying to make sure it's not too long. The part that I didn't go over with was my cousin had started to become jealous whenever Noah would call and just want to talk to me. Because, yep, she became jealous whenever Noah would talk to me because her friend wasn't calling her. So it was like, you know, how you getting somebody you just met calling you. And she even made a reference of how fast we were fell in love with each other, and kept bringing up the fact that you know it ain't gonna work, right? Because y'all don't even live in the same state. Like, how, you know what I'm saying? Just like hating. She started hating, really, she did. So when I was writing, the Lord brought me back to that. And you know what he told me? because of her jealousy. Ooh, I'm telling you, y'all, that spirit of jealousy ain't no joke. Because of her jealousy, she told the homeboy up the street, the one that I said that I liked first, but ain't never paid no attention to me this whole entire month. All of a sudden, on the last day I'm there, the Holy Spirit told me, she told the boy to come and purposely flirt with me. She told him that because she knew that I was kind of weak in the area with about like not, you know, telling somebody like to leave me alone or whatever. She did that on purpose. That's why she was the one that volunteered to ask him, did he want to ride with us? They set the whole thing up. He just was doing what she said to do. They planned this. They planned this. Planned it to plan to kiss, you know, all of that they planned. I was shocked to shingles when the Lord revealed this to me. I was like, yo, it be your own family. It be your own flesh and blood. And at this time, this was, you know, prior, even though she did what she did to me, I consider her like my favorite cousin. You know what I'm saying? I looked up to her type thing. We was 3 years apart. And so when I was writing this and the Lord revealed it to me, I was like, wow. So, of course, when we got home, because back then we ain't had internet, right? So he couldn't hit me up. And we ain't had cell phone. He couldn't text me. We wrote each other, right? So he wrote this long letter. He expressed how he felt. She had eventually told him. She revealed to him. No, yeah. Either she did or I did. I don't know. It's in the book. One of us revealed to him the truth of how old I really was. I think it was her, because I remember him asking me in the letter, why didn't I just tell him my real age or whatever? And you know what I'm saying? I think he was trying to tell me like I would have just dealt with it. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I was that far. I was just 3 years younger than him if I was. But and we kept in touch for a little bit, but it just eventually, you know, died off. And I think I was hurt more than I broke his heart, because he told me that in the letter. He was like, you really broke my heart. I really fell in love with you. Like, why did you do that to me, especially on the last day there? And I didn't know what to say, because it was all new to me. I didn't even really know. I just kept saying, I'm sorry. But that is the story of my first love. The second love came shortly after that, though. But this one was the very first one. The very first one. So that is the end of this story. I hope you are enjoying story time. I hope you enjoyed this story, and I hope you come back. Again, the link for my book, this story is in Cage Girl, is in the description box below. Remember, people receive when they can relate. Do you have a first love story? Let me know in the comments below. I love you, but know that God loves you more. Bye.